to order at 6 p.m. This is a workshop of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee. It's being held by teleconference Zoom to discuss our June 9th, 2020 agenda. May we please stand for the invocation given by Commissioner Benny Everett, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Shall we pray? Father in heaven, we are thankful for this day. We're grateful for the opportunities that you have afforded us to accomplish tasks, all for your glory. Father, as we assemble as the duly elected body of this great city, we pray, God, that you would order our steps, guide our decision-making. We pray that all that we do will be in the best interest of this city and her citizens. And so, Father, we say thank you for this awesome task to be the persons to lead during this time. We ask it all in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Let's recite the pledge together.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with
liberty
liberty
and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb.
Present.
Commissioner Boland.
Present.
Commissioner Everett.
Present.
Commissioner Hill.
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
present.
City Manager. City Manager. City Attorney.
Here.
Interim City Clerk here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, staff. And thank each of our listening audience for being able to participate in our teleconference today to discuss our agenda of Tuesday, June the 9th, 2020. At this time, I would like to have our city attorney give us our protocol for conducting our meeting tonight.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if you will give me just a moment, please. I am switching screens here. Mayor Babb, this is a meeting of the City Commission workshop, and pursuant to Executive Order number 20-69 issued by the Office of the Governor Ron DeSantis on March the 20th, 2020, municipalities may conduct meetings of their governing boards without having a quorum of its members present physically or at any specific location and utilizing communications media technology as telephonic or video conferencing may allow, and as provided by Section 120.54 5B2 Florida statutes. The members of the City Commission appearing remotely for this meeting are Commissioner Boland, Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill, Vice Mayor Mervin, and Mayor Babb. Members of the City Commission, this is a virtual meeting and when you're not speaking, please mute your Zoom button so that you can have the highest quality sound that is available. The public was given an opportunity to speak by emailing the city clerk at cityofpahokee.com. Any comments will be read into the record at the appropriate time. Commissioners, are you comfortable with the notice provisions that have been provided herein?
Yes.
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 Hearing no disagreement, Mr. Mayor, I will turn the meeting over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, the purpose of this workshop is to discuss our agenda for the June 9th, 2020 agenda. At this time, I'm gonna turn this portion over to our city manager. Hopefully he's back online to kind of lead us in the discussion of our agenda items. City manager. Okay, look like we're having some technical difficulties with our city manager. We're gonna go ahead on. The agenda has been presented to us earlier. It's very short. The only main topic on there is the discussion of the Marina contract agreement. And at this time, city attorney, if you can kind of just give us an overview of the topic and some of the items that's in there, some of the agreement items, just highlight those you think would be noteworthy to kind of mention. And then we'll have a discussion if needed by our city commission on any concerns or question they may have.
Well, Mr. Mayor, it is quite a lengthy document, your sublease agreement. And I understand the manager has been having a lot of back and forth with the
You here, city manager?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my
Okay.
apologies. Had a little technical issues there. I'm here now, Mayor.
Okay, I'll let the city attorney just wrap up her comments. I know we're going to turn this over to the city manager as far as discussion, but I just don't want to cut off Redden and Miller. If you would just complete your thought frame on that, city attorney, we'll move to our city manager for further discussion.
Yes, sir. I was just saying that it is quite a lengthy agreement, and the manager was certainly, I'm glad he's on, he'd be in a much better position to talk with you about the various items that may be of concern to the city, just based on his longstanding interaction with the possible entity that you would be leasing with.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'll turn this portion over to our city manager to lead us in the discussion of our agenda items. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor, Commission. We're in workshop, right, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. We have one agenda item tonight. I know there were some items that we wanted to bring back from the last meeting, but I wanted to clear the agenda so we can have a conversation on this item. It's been long-standing for the city of Pahokee on this item. So I wanted to clear the agenda of any other items tonight so we can have a fluid discussion on this. And so what we have before us is the sublease. As you know, we've had some history with this culmination of this sublease from where it began to where it ended up today. We started out with this group in 2017 as to manage 3 parts of the Marina, and that was the campground, restaurant, and the Marina itself, where the boats are located, the boat docks. And so from that beginning, from that auspicious beginning in 2017, we came to an understanding that we needed to move this preliminary discussion to the state level, where if we're going to lease all 3 parts of the Marina, we would need the governor and cabinet's approval to do so. We were successful in doing that in 2019, providing the state our intent to, not intent, but our request to sublease all 3 parts. Typically, that doesn't occur unless you want to rent all 3 parts. When you rent an individual, when you sublease an individual part, that requirement is not a prerequisite. But when you're renting all 3, that's a prerequisite. So it was given to us in December that we could then begin the final discussions and creation of a sublease that Everglades Reserve Holding and the city could move forward with. In that time, we did exchange or get a new legal firm There were some changes made with the prior legal firm in early 2019. And then we had the governor and cabinet's vote in December of 2019. Once that was completed, we then went into discussions with the Division of State Lands to create the actual sublease that would be the one that we both would agree to. Division of State Lands created their portion of the lease. They requested that we add our portions of the lease to formulate what we now have is the sublease. That sublease was completed in late February, going into early March. We had anticipated that this discussion would be earlier, but with COVID-19 taking its root in our community, it was postponed. Then on March 18th, I had an additional discussion with Everglades Reserve Holding on this completed sublease by the city and the state, and they requested that some revisions be made. I then indicated to Everglades Reserve Holding that any revisions of the current lease would have to be discussed openly with the commission. And if those were granted and there was an agreement, we could make those revisions, and then we could then make a final approval for this lease to give back to the state of Florida. That brings us to today, where we are discussing this sublease for Everglades Reserve Holding to manage all three parts of the marina. This current draft sublease is up for your discussion and review tonight. I don't know if Everglades Reserve Holding is on. Are they on the line? We provided a link for them to be here tonight to present any recommendations for changes or revisions at this meeting tonight before we move forward with approving this sublease. I know there's been some conversation about what lease is we're looking at, but to be clear, this sublease, the final sublease, which includes our portion of the lease and the state's portion of the lease to create the sublease, is the discussion for tonight. So I just want to make that clear because there seems to be a little confusion about that on the public's part. But the sublease that the current legal firm completed and Brad completed, Mr. Richardson at the Division of State Lands, is the sublease that is in discussion tonight. So I just want to be clear about that. So that's where we are tonight, Mayor and Commission. If you have questions about the sublease created by the City of Pahokee and Division of State Lands, we can begin having those discussions now if you have questions pertaining to that in this workshop.
Okay, thank you, City Manager. At this time, do we have any questions or comments by the City Commission?
I have one. This is
Commissioner Bolden.
Yes, sir. I just received an email from a gentleman named Christopher Hale that says, I thought it looked like he sent it to everybody, but maybe he didn't. But it says that Mr. Lampert had some kind of surgery today to repair a detached retina in his eye and is unable to be on here apparently. They're asking.
Is that what there's more than one partner of Commissioner Bolden, so it's.
Yes, sir. I'm just saying
Miller
that
going to be available.
Said that they weren't on the line. I said, well, I got this, so that's why I was thinking.
Oh,
I didn't know if y'all got it or not. It looked like you did, but I wasn't sure.
Right. I haven't checked email since probably before 3 o'clock. I was preparing for this meeting, so I don't have that email to look at
I
right
haven't
now.
received anything.
When was the email sent, this Commissioner Everett?
It must be to my city email. That's the only thing I get from them. Yeah, city email.
I say
Yeah.
when, no, I didn't say where, what email. I say, when was it sent? When?
Hold on one second. Let me back out and see when it says what time. 4:43 p.m.
Oh, I didn't receive it either.
And I spoke with Mr. Lambert yesterday just to ensure that he would be receiving the link. He did indicate that early this morning that he was having some minor surgery, but he never indicated that they would not be here to present any revisions. He said he would.
I don't know. It says that they're requesting consideration and our vote on this sublease be postponed at this time in order that matters may done in an orderly and thorough manner. Investigate or manners may be investigate in an orderly and thorough manner. It's a big, long email.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
this
just
is
hitting the highlights.
This is the agenda for the night, Mayor and Commission. So it's been long awaiting. It's your pleasure, but it's on the agenda for the night.
Okay. We will continue. I don't know whether or not we're actually gonna vote tonight. Is up to the commission, but it is a request and is a last minute request, but due to surgery, I personally don't have a problem in postponing our vote to the next commission meeting, but again, a majority have to be in favor of that. I'd like to give the vendors at least an opportunity to be on and have some input prior to our voting. But again, we would reach that point in our regular commission meeting to decide whether or not we want to postpone an actual vote. We can have some discussion of it, and we could very well vote on it, but it depends on our majority of the commission. So we're going to continue to work. Yes.
Mayor, I agree. I would rather just wait and give them an opportunity. I mean, if he's having a surgery or something like that, I mean, that's no more than fair.
The only thing I say, Mayor, is the state is waiting on something from us, and we post.
I mean, they waited all this time. I mean, I'm sure they can. I understand we got to hurry up, but I meant just to be fair.
No, I don't mean we need to hurry up. I'm just saying this has been
For
set
expedited.
up for the last 2 weeks. I don't know why you would have a surgery on this day, but I understand it.
I think it was, I imagine it was some kind of emergency surgery. I don't think he would have scheduled it on today either.
This is Vice Mayor Mervin. Due to all
He had a
respect for Mr.
detached
Lambert, Mr. Lambert have been notified for this week that this meeting will be taking place as of today. He's not the only partner in this meeting, and this meeting is not where you have to see where it's not visual. It's audible, so it's just listening actually, and then voicing your concern. I think me as a commissioner that we need to move on with this meeting as of tonight.
I would, I understand, Commissioner Mervin. However, the reason I'm coming to that agreement with the mayor is because just doing business at this point, I just feel like through all this time, if he's truly having surgery, which we wouldn't know, and I'm not here to question all of that. Just to be fair, I meant doing business with these people. I'm kind of a little on edge right now because I just feel like it would just be more than fair. I mean, I don't know the gist of it, but he's in surgery. I mean, that was something that we can't control. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit here. I know if I was a business partner or something, I wouldn't want to sit here and someone would go ahead and have the meeting. I understand, even if he's been informed it's something that's out of his control. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to do, make that kind of call.
This is Commissioner Boland. I agree totally. We've waited a long time, and to not not start this out on a good foot is, to me, is not the way to do this. I think that we need to have them on the line. And so if they have anything to say or we have any questions, we can get it all taken care of at one shot.
Right, Mayor, again, Commissioner Mervin, I'm sorry. I disagree totally because this is a group with more than one partner. Now, you have other partners. They have been pressing us to put this on the agenda for weeks. And so I feel that we need to move on. Either we're gonna move with it or we're not gonna move with it. But it's time that we come on and handle the business with the marina. They wanted it on the agenda. That's what we did. And at 5:43, you want to see now that you knew you had surgery scheduled today. Come on, guys. Let's move on with this.
Okay.
Mayor, we're in workshop, so.
Yeah, we're in workshop.
You know,
We're not going to make a decision to our regular commission meeting anyway. I'm just giving folks an opportunity to have any comments or concerns presented. Are there any additional questions or comments pertaining to this agenda item? Commissioner Everett, have any input on the item that you'd like to have clarified or discussed?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other commission have any other items? Any other question or comments on the agenda item, the marina lease? Okay, hearing none, what we would do at this point is move to our discussion, comments, and concern of our city commission. And I'll start with Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Hill, any discussion, any comments, any concerns during our workshop?
No, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Bolden.
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Vice Mayor Mervin. In addition, comments, concerns, a discussion item. Vice Mayor. Okay. You have the last word if you have any comments, concerns, Commissioner Everett.
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I will adjourn our workshop, having no further discussion pertaining to the agenda item, and we will reconvene at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Thank you. Lo, just checking and make sure everyone's back.
Commissioner
We're gonna
Boland,
do-
I'm back.
Great.
Commissioner Mervin,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm back, Mayor. This is Commissioner Everett.
Thank you, sir.
Manager here.
Thank you, sir. City Attorney, you back? You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Thank you. City Clerk, are you there and ready?
I'm ready, sir.
City Manager, you there and ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get ready to be started. I call this City Commission of the City of Pahokee, regular commission meeting of Tuesday, June the 9th, 2020, being held by teleconference to begin and start now at 6:32 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation given by Commissioner Everett, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Shall we pray? Father in heaven, we come before your presence with thanksgiving and with an awesome humility for this great task that we have in leading this great city. Father, we pray that you would give us wisdom and you would give us direction, guide our decision-making, and let all that we do be not only for your glory, but for the betterment and the improvement of this city. We ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
May we please recite the Pledge of Allegiance together.
Pledge allegiance.
Flag.
Flag.
The United States of
States
America.
of America,
And to the republic for which it
which
stands,
stand one
one
nation,
nation,
Under
under God,
under God.
indivisible,
Visible.
with
with
liberty
And
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Commissioner Boland,
I'm here.
Commissioner Everett,
Present.
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
present.
City Manager,
Here.
City Attorney,
Here.
Interim City Clerk here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, staff. And thank each of our listener audience for being here and participating in our teleconference Zoom meeting, our regular City Commission meeting of Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. At this time, I have the City Attorney provide us with the protocol of our teleconference meeting today. City
Yes, Mayor
Attorney.
Bab. Yes, Mayor
Thank you.
Bab. Pursuant to Executive Order number 20-69 issued by the Office of Governor Ron DeSantis on March the 20th, 2020, municipalities may conduct meetings of their governing boards without having a quorum of its members present physically or at any specific location and utilizing communications media technologies such as telephonic or video conferencing as provided by Section 120.54 5B2 Florida statutes. The members of the City Commission appearing remotely for this meeting tonight are Commissioner Boland, Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill, Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin, and Mayor Bab. Members of the commission, this is a virtual meeting, and when you are not speaking, please mute your Zoom buttons so that you have the highest quality sound and can produce an accurate record. Please indicate that you desire to speak, and the mayor will recognize you. The public has been given an opportunity up until 6:30 p.m. tonight by emailing City Clerk at cityclerk@thecityofpahokee.com, and any comments will be read into the record at the appropriate time. Commissioners, are you comfortable with the notice provisions that have been set forth for this virtual meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Hearing no opposition, Mayor Bab, I'll turn the meeting over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, we'll follow our agenda as presented. First order of business is any deletions, additions, and approve of our agenda items.
Yes, Mayor, we have one addition, and that's a proclamation for Everglades Preparatory Academy for their graduating seniors for 2020. That's the only additions for tonight, Mayor.
Okay. So we'll put that on the item J on the proclamations.
That's all for the addition and deletion, Mayor, for the agenda.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mayor. What about the proclamation for the Pahokee Middle Senior High School graduating class?
We
That
did
was-
that at our last
that was-
commission meeting.
Okay,
and we
perfect. Okay,
Okay, and
all right,
presented.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Having no additional additions or deletion from the agenda, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda items as presented with the addition of a proclamation congratulating Everglades Preparatory Academy on their 2020 graduating class.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to offer a motion that we accept the agenda with the necessary additions that was added.
I second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Everett and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin for the adoption of the agenda as presented with the addition of the proclamation for Everglades Preparatory Academy. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion to approve our agenda items with the one addition has approved by a unanimous vote. Now we'll move to citizen comments, public service announcement, and any and all items on the agenda. There'll be a 3 minutes for any reading of any comments presented to the city clerk prior to the meeting. City Clerk, at this time, do you have any comments received?
Yes, sir. I have received several comments and just letting me, a few of the last comments that I have are very similar to each other. So there's like a group, I made 2 groups of those similar comments, so I don't have to read the different letters that they send or different emails that they presented. Comment number
But-
1 is from R.
Excuse me.
Phillips.
excuse me, Mr.
I don't
Mayor.
think you can do that.
Before we proceed with the comment reading, I don't think it's in order just to read a few. I think you have to read all of them, regardless of how similar they are.
Okay,
I agree.
it's
I
all right.
agree, Mayor.
Okay, we would do that. Again, I'll be putting a time limit on the time the comments are able to be read, but we certainly want to read all of most of them into our record as possible.
All
If
right.
they came in on time, you need to read all of them, right?
Yeah, you
Yes,
don't
that's
get
what
to
we're
choose
playing.
which
That's what we're
one.
planning on doing, but we're still sticking with a
3 minutes.
3 minute time limit on them.
Oh, gotcha.
3
But
minutes
we're gonna
per
read
piece.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. City Clerk.
Yes, sir. R. Phillips, 323 Carissa Drive. His subject is about the Marina. If you lay down with dogs, you come up with fleas and death. For 3 years, this group fooled this community. For 3 years, they were and are close friends with racist white people in Pahokee. For 3 years, those supporters have called us roaches, niggers, and every other name in the book. Now, here we come to find out Everglades Reserve Holdings has members that has had lawsuits, liens, and judgments against them for many, many years. How can we possibly give this marina to a group that cannot even pay their personal bills on time? How can we lay down and be treated like second-class citizens in Pahokee by this group and their supporters? The commission needs to get serious and find a better group. We need to vote no, 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 and blank no to racist groups like this that fool us and into believing they are on our side. They are no worse than the crooked cops that killed Mr. Floyd. They keep their knee on our necks and keep asking us if we like it. Well, blank, no more. Please vote no against racist people in Pahokee. Please vote no to Everglades Reserve Holdings. And please let's find someone better for this community. This community is 58% Black. We do not have to take this blank from white people who are racist and want to fool us. They are right for Pahokee. Please vote no. I know for a fact other groups are waiting for us to stand up and do the right thing. If we do, they will come and help us. We can do better than this in Pahokee. Don't be fooled. If the commission cannot vote no, let's vote them out as well. Second comment is from Mary Jo Seaman, 315 McClure, Pahokee, Florida. I am against the city providing a lease to this group because they are racist and do not pay their bills. They have lied about their willingness to work with the community in 2017 and 2018. They promised they will invest in the community. It's been 3 years and they have done nothing in Pahokee except ask to get the Marina for free for years. They want to take and take, but yet cannot promise the community anything. They promised to build a hotel. Yes, they refused to even commit on paper to building anything. Other investors from other places have come in and brought old homes, renovated them, and resold them over the last 3 years. That's real investment. This group has lied and given us just lip service. Please vote no. We have better groups that have real money to help the restaurant open. Has this group offered us their financial portfolio? No, they have not, because they want us in the state to put up with the money to get a free facility. If you know anything about business, no real investors gets anything for free. They are con artists. All you have to do is look at the track record of where they have been before. It's gone belly up every time. We need to give up. We need to give someone else this chance. Please send a clear message that racist con artists looking for another easy check are not going to fool us over and over. I am asking this commission to not accept the lease and to vote no. Tell the state of Florida we can do better if we find some other group. Ronald Johnson from 141 Elm, that's comment number 3. I am against giving this group a free marina for 2 years. They have a track record of failed businesses, over 20 years of lawsuits and liens and recent foreclosures. The legal department should have done a better job and informed the city about their bad businesses practices. They are the wrong group for this city. They are racist. They have aligned themselves with the racist people who live on a boat at the marina. He lives out there and calls us the N-word and roaches on Facebook and to our faces. It's sad we have to endure racist threats, and this group has done nothing for us. They have been here begging for a free marina for 3 years. They have done nothing for us. They have never invested in our community, especially the Black community, but they have thrown rocks at our Black commission and then hide their hands as if they are not involved. Here is my question. If the same people were Black businessmen and had a bad record, will they get a lease from a city? It's a question. And then he says a word, and then he says, no, they will not. We need to send the governor, their supporters, the racists in this community a message. No racist allowed in Pahokee, Florida. Please vote no against this lease. Find a better group that cares about us in Pahokee. we can find someone else that honestly cares for this community. I ask the commission to not be fooled any longer. Don't be scared of white racists any longer. Do not be fooled by a slick talking man from Fort Lauderdale. Vote no, no, no. Comment number 4, Jill Fletcher. To whom it may concern, I am presently a resident of the Pahokee campground in Marina. I want to say that I am 100% in favor of EHR Holdings, Robert Lambert, between parentheses, taking over the lease on the campground in Marina. This campground is in horrible shape and needs someone to make it a place of destination. Everyone there is disgruntled with the lack of maintenance and upkeep. Please accept them taking over the lease. I would like this read at the meeting and put into the minutes of the meeting per the Florida Sunshine Law. Thank you, Jill Fletcher. Comment number 5, Julie Weaver. To whom it may concern, I am presently a resident of the Pahokee Marina and Campground, and my concern is the amount of traffic in and out of the campground and the speed at which this vehicles travel. Wondering if there is any chance that we can set forth a proposal to install a few speed limit signs. Would appreciate that this inquiry be put into the minutes at the meeting of 6/09/2020 for the Florida Sunshine Law. Thank you in advance, Julie Weaver. Comment number 6 comes from Mark Miller. My name is Mark Miller. I live at 190 North Lake Avenue, Pahokee. As a concerned citizen for the betterment and good of the city of Pahokee, I wonder what happened with that sewer cleaning truck and the bulk trash pickup truck that has or was always out at the old barn that was moved over to 246 Mel Till Boulevard, and then it seemed to vanish. I am not aware. Please enlighten me if there was an RFP for bids or an auction. Where was it advertised? It seems as though city assets went missing. Were they stolen? Question mark. Respectfully submitted this 9th day of June, 2020. Comment number 7. This comment is from Sanquera Cowan at 1548 Cemetery Avenue. Through evidence, it appears that Everglades Reserve Holding has not provided a substantial financial portfolio to the city of Pahokee. One of its members, Robert Lambert, having many lawsuits and liens. In fact, recently one partner, Robert Lambert, personal home, just came out of foreclosure in February of this year. Based on this information, as a citizen, I believe it will be impossible for Everglades Reserve to operate a multi-equal tourism facility. I am asking commissioners to vote no to the lease. Comment number 8 from Mary Pringle at 1538 Boone Avenue. It's the same comment, but I'm going to read it for the record. Through evidence, it appears that Everglades Reserve Holding has not provided a substantial financial portfolio to the city of Pahokee. One of its members, Robert Lambert, having many lawsuits and liens. In fact, recently one partner, Robert Lambert, personal home, just came out of foreclosure in February of this year. Based on this information as a citizen, I believe it will be impossible for Everglades Reserve Holdings to operate a multi-equal tourism facility. I am asking commissioners to vote no to the lease. Comment number 9 from Brenda Osborne, 348 Kismet Avenue. Through evidence, it appears that Everglades Reserve Holding has not provided a substantial financial portfolio to the city of Pahokee. One of its members, Robert Lambert, having many lawsuits and liens. In fact, recently one partner, Robert Lambert, personal home just came out of foreclosure in February of this year. Based on this information as a citizen, I believe it would be impossible for Everglades Reserve Holding to operate a multi-equal tourism facility. I am asking commissioners to vote no to the lease. Comment number 10, through evidence, it appears that Everglades Reserve Holding has not provided a substantial financial portfolio to the city of Pahokee. One of its members, Robert Lambert, having many lawsuits and liens. In fact, recently one partner, Robert Lambert, personal home, just came out of foreclosure in February of this year. Based on this information, as a citizen, I believe it will be impossible for Everglades Reserve Holding to operate a multi-equal tourism facility. I am asking commissioners to vote no to the lease. And that was comment number 10. Comment number 11 comes from Talika Cunningham. As a citizen, I would like to know if the commissioners are considering to approve the lease to Everglades Holding Group. Is there anywhere in the lease stating the citizens will be allowed to continue to fish on the North Pier where they commonly fish, be able to continue to fish at no cost, and the specific times citizens will be able? If that information is not in the lease to protect the citizens, I would like for that to be placed in the lease prior to it being approved. So that was comment number 11 from Talika and Harvey Cunningham at the 158 South Plan. Comment number 12 is from Yolanda Harley, 512 West Baines Terrace. As a citizen, I would like to know if the commissioners are considering to approve the lease to Everglades Holding Group. Is there anywhere in the lease stating the citizens will be allowed to continue to fish on the North Pier where they commonly fish, be able to continue to fish at no cost, and the specific times citizens will be able? If that information is not in the lease to protect the citizens, I would like for that to be placed in the lease prior to it being approved. Comment number 13 comes from Diane Graham, 389 Kismet Avenue. As a citizen, I would like to know if the commissioners are considering to approve the lease to Everglades Holding Group. Is there anywhere in the lease stating the citizens will be allowed to continue to fish on the North Pier where they commonly fish, be able to continue to fish at no cost, and the specific times citizens will be able to? If that information is not in the lease to protect the citizens, I would like for that to be placed in the lease prior to being approved. Comment number 14 is from Sabrina Osborne. Address is 1574 South Jordan Boulevard in Pahokee. As a citizen, I would like to know if the commissioners are considering to approve the lease to Everglades Holding Group. Is there anywhere in the lease stating the citizens will be allowed to continue to fish on the North Pier where they commonly fish, be able to continue to fish at no cost, and the specific times citizens will be able to? If that information is not in the lease to protect the citizens, I would like for that to be placed in the lease prior to it being approved. That was comment number 15. Comment number 15 from Gladys Tomlin, 1554 Boone Avenue in Pahokee, Florida. I want to ask the commissioners to vote no on leasing the Marina to Everglades Holding Group. I have read many of the negative comments made by partners, Mr. Miller and Robert Lambert of Everglades Holding Group. Good business partnerships between two entities is not where one goes out and discredit the other. As a citizen, I do not believe this will be a good partnership with this company. I cannot understand why this company wants to lease the Marina because, according to two of their partners, much of the work that has been completed is wrong. It sounds like an easy lawsuit to me. City commissioners, please vote wisely no. Comment number 16 from Cassandra Walker, who lives at 1582 Reverend Jesse Biggs Boulevard. I want to ask the commissioners to vote no on leasing the Marina to Everglades Holding Group. I have read many of the negative comments made by partners Mr. Miller and Robert Lambert of Everglades Holding Group. Good businesses partnership between two entities is not where one goes out and discredits the other. As a citizen, I do not believe this will be a good partnership with this company. I cannot understand why this company wants to lease the marina because according to two of their partners, much of the work that has been completed is wrong. It sounds like an easy lawsuit to me. City commissioners, please vote wisely no. Number 17 is from Howard Osborne at 278 Parkview Court. I want to ask the commissioners to vote no on leasing the marina to Everglades Holding Group. I've read many of the negative comments made by partners Mr. Miller and Robert Lambert of Everglades Holding Group. Good business partnerships between two entities is not where one goes out and discredit the other. As a citizen, I do not believe this will be a good partnership with this company. I cannot understand why this company wants to lease the marina because according to two of their partners, much of the work that has been completed is wrong. It sounds like an easy lawsuit to me. City commissioners, please vote wisely no. Number 18, is from Toby Osborne at 348 Kismet Avenue. I want to ask the commissioners to vote no on leasing the marina to Everglades Holding Group. I've read many of the negative comments made by partners Mr. Miller and Robert Lambert of Everglades Holding Group. Good business partnerships between two entities is not where one goes out and discredits the other. As a citizen, I do not believe this will be a good partnership with this company. I cannot understand why this company wants to lease the marina because, according to two of their partners, much of the work that has been completed is wrong. It sounds like an easy lawsuit to me. City commissioners, please vote wisely no. Our last comments, I have received them via email and I'm going to read them straight from the email into the record. It's from Mary Dabro. Citizen concern under the Florida Sunshine Act. I would like this read into the minutes of tonight's meeting and its entirety, completely and clearly. Mary Dabro. I reside at 2997 Lakeside Circle, Pahokee, Florida. My comment question is a lease draft that is being presented tonight, which is totally different and not in sequence with the original lease dated October 10th, 2017, and signed, approved by the commission and approved by the governor cabinet on December 3rd, 2019. And it is ERH LLC in agreement with an signed new draft / lease. If accepted, does it have to go back to the state for approval? That's a question mark. I do not understand why lease dated October 10, 2017 had to come back to commission for approval when it's already been approved by all, including state. ERH should have begun take over 30 days after approval, December 3rd, 2020, according to the signed lease. Respectfully submitted, Mary Dabro. And the next comment is from Donna Culpepper. My name is Brian Culpepper, and I live at 19430 Northwest 80th Drive, Okeechobee, Florida. Under the Sunshine Law Act of Florida, I ask that my entire comment to be read clearly in its entirety, regardless of other citizen comments of similar but not exact nature for the record. I support Everglades Holdings and ask that this commission fulfill the executed contract and turn over the marina and campground immediately and without further delay. This vendor has been working with the city diligently for 3 years, and you have ignored the state's order that the facility be turned over to the lessor and or on December the 3rd. Next message is from Linda Moss. And my name is Linda Moss. I live at 2827 Bacon Point Road, Pahokee, Florida. Under the Sunshine Act of Florida, I ask that my entire comment be read clearly in its entirety, regardless of other citizen comments of similar but not exact nature for the record. My first question is regarding our commission meetings. In conversation with the city of Belgrade, they are back in chambers with citizen in attendance. It is time for Pahokee to do the same. When will our meetings be back open to the public with commission present? I am voicing my support for ERH to get the keys to the leased property that is associated with the lease that was approved by the state on December 3rd, 2019, and signed several years ago. It is time to let a proven developer take the project over and get it up and running. Summer is here, and it needs to be opened and ready for our campers and visitors next season. Time is of the essence, and the city has dragged this out long enough, and it is time to move forward with ERH. They are the company that will make it happen, and all of Pahokee will benefit from the fruits of their labor. Do not hold back any longer. It is time. Thank you, Linda Moss. Next comment is from Catherine Marves. My name is Catherine Marves, and I live at 1838 East Main Street, Pahokee, Florida, 33476. Under the Sunshine Act of Florida, I ask that this entire comment be read clearly in its entirety, regardless of other citizen comments of similar but not exact nature for the record. I support Everglades Reserves Holdings, LLC, and ask that this commission fulfill the executed contract as is and turn over the marina, restaurant, and all facilities immediately and without further delay. This vendor has been working diligently with the city for 3 years in good faith, and you have chosen to ignore the contract as well as the state of Florida order that facilities included in said contract be turned over on December 3rd, 2019 or thereabouts. Furthermore, having citizens now try to malign the reputation of the lessor or make this a racial issue is unacceptable and will not hold water. This tactic has just reared its head as of December 2019 or thereabouts, but was not an issue for 3 years prior. Is this poor performance on your part or fraud? Question mark. On another note, my question for the record is, has the city manager or any commissioner sold, given, leased, or allowed any current or past person, vendor to remove city equipment of any size for their use either permanently or temporarily? As an example, like printers, computers, trucks, etc., without bids or auction, etc. Thank you. Signed by Ms. Catherine Marves. Last comment that I received today at 5:54 was from Jaden Jones. And he says, we do not want these people as the owners of the bar. That's practically it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes.
That conclude all the comments, City Clerk.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that. Now we'll move down the agenda to approve of minutes. We don't have any minutes at this time to be approved. We don't have any consent agenda items. We don't have any ordinances. We don't have any resolutions. We don't have a public hearing scheduled. We do have an add-on proclamation recognizing the Everglades Preparatory Academy 2020 graduating class. At this time, we'll have our city attorney read the proclamation into the records.
This is a proclamation to recognize the value and celebrate the achievement of our Everglades Preparatory Academy graduating class of 2020. Whereas the Everglades Preparatory Academy graduating class of the year 2020 has experienced the dramatic interruption of their educational and social lives due to novel coronavirus health emergency. And whereas the graduating seniors in the Everglades Preparatory Academy class of 2020 deserve their achievements to be recognized by people within their communities and beyond. And whereas this year's graduating class contains students who have achieved to their utmost in academics, agriculture, athletics, business, engineering, theater, and music programs, and more. And whereas the government of the city of Pahokee is exceedingly proud to acknowledge and support the future success of the 2020 graduating class of the Everglades Preparatory Academy. Let it be hereby proclaimed, I, Keith W. Babb Jr., as mayor of the City of Commission of the City of Pahokee, by virtue of the authority vested, acknowledge it that this class of students has excelled despite the enormous challenges set forth before them. Thereby, this class is worthy of great commendation from their family, friends, and community. On behalf of the City of Pahokee, we wish them the absolute best in all of their future endeavors and thereby claim June 10th, 2020 as Everglades Preparatory Academy graduating class of the day. Done this 9th day of June 2020, Keith W. Babb Jr., Vice Mayor Claire M. Mervin, Commissioner Regina Bolin, Commissioner Benny Everett III, Commissioner Felicia Hill, Commissioners of the City of Pahokee.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. City Commissioners, having heard the proclamation for Everglades Preparatory Academy graduating class of 2020, properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I offer a motion that we accept proclamation as was read by our city attorney.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Benny Everett and properly seconded by Commissioner Regina Bolin for the approval of the proclamation to the graduating class of the Everglades Preparatory Academy 2020. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Babb.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The proclamation passes by unanimous vote. We don't have any presentations. Now we'll move to the mayor report, which will be very brief. At our last commission meeting, the commission approved the recognition of our seniors who have reached their 90+ birth date. At our last commission meeting, we approved certificates for Eva Hill, who celebrated her 93rd birthday, and Anime Wallace, who celebrated her 96th birthday. In addition to those two, this week we had two additional seniors that was celebrating their birthday. Mrs. Barbara Branch celebrated her 93rd birthday on Sunday, and Mr. Eddie Parker Sr. is celebrating his 90th birthday today. I would like to ask one of the commission to make a motion that we present or send Mrs. Branch and Mr. Parker a certificate congratulating them on this milestone in celebrating their birthday.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to offer a motion that we present Mr. Parker and Mrs. Branch with a certificate of recognition for such a great milestone of 90 plus years of existence.
A second.
It is moved by Commissioner Everett and properly second by Commissioner Hill that we celebrate and recognize the birth dates of Mrs. Barbara Branch along with Mr. Parker, and to provide them with certificate with that honor. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Everett,
Yes?
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. I would just like to encourage the listening audience, if you know of anyone who's celebrating their 90-plus birthday, please forward that information to our city clerk so we can give them proper recognition on their birthday. And I would just like to make sure the staff get those certificates out as soon as possible. Either the mayor would personally deliver them or we will mail them to them, either or, but we want to make sure that we recognize them and get the information to them as soon as we possibly can. And if the mayor's not available, any other commissioner who would like to personally present those certificates, please let the clerk know, and we'll make sure that you're able to present it. We know there's still a virus out there. We must continue to practice our social distances, but this is such an important milestone that we want to make sure we have some type of recognition for that. Okay, that's going to conclude the mayor report. We'll move to our city manager report.
Thank you,
City
Mayor.
manager.
Yeah, Mayor.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Don't have anything to report tonight. I will be providing the commission some update on some projects between now and early next week. We have some working documents that we're working on for future projects. And so those updates will come either at the end of the week or first of next week. We are progressing very well with the gymnasium at this time. They're going into phase 2, and that is the interior renovations of the gym right now. We also plan to add in addition, we'll do a new fence along the eastern part of the building between the laundry facility and actual gymnasium. We decided late to remove that gate because it was very old and aged. But that project is moving along very well. And again, I'll have some more updates on some additional projects as we prepare the documents, and those will involve Barfield Highway and phase 4 resurfacing, which addresses a lot of the core streets along Amaryllis, 3rd Street, MLK, a couple other streets in that community. We're preparing documents to move forward. That is all at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll move to our city attorney report.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. I do have one question since we will be discussing the Marina lease. And we have previously approved this at some point. Now that it's been approved by the state and the governor, are we now able to move forward with an official approval, or under your legal advice, do you feel this has already been approved or not? I just need clarification.
Sure, we're at the point where the sublease agreement has not been approved yet by the commission. And while you all have approved certain terms, my understanding is the Everglades holding group is looking to change some of those things you've been talking about. And so as a result, that you would need to reconsider the issues that you conceptually agreed upon previously in order to move ahead to see whether or not there is a meeting of the minds.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, our next order of business would be the Marina lease. Prior to end the discussion in our workshop, just to highlight some previous discussion, there was some discussion of whether or not we would want to move forward on actually approving or disapproving this particular lease agreement. Mr. Robert Miller, which is one of the primary partners in this agreement, had eye surgery.
Robert Lambert.
Robert Lambert had eye surgery. There was some consideration whether or not we needed to postpone at least voting on the actual lease or not. Some commissioners felt that we needed to move forward. My question to you, when we do discuss this, whether to move forward or not, I would ask the question, and I'm not asking you to say it out loud. Would Mr. Lambert participation today make a difference in your decision whether or not you would approve this lease today or not? If you feel that his involvement or his conversation or his input into the discussion will sway you one way or the other, then I would imagine you would prefer waiting. But if his input at this time would not, then I would imagine that you would want to move forward. That's just something that we can kind of think about and digest just briefly. Mr. Lambert also have another partner. Both did get a text or email from our city manager inviting them to this teleconference meeting, this Zoom meeting. So they had an opportunity to participate, but I know emergency does come up. Surgery cannot sometimes be delayed, and that's where we are on that. So we're going to get to a point where we need to have a vote or a motion of whether or not we want to move forward today. If we don't move forward today, at a minimum, we'll be moving forward at our next scheduled meeting.
Mayor Bab, I would like to make a motion that we move forward with the Marina lease.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. Without a second, we would need to, at this time, not move forward as far as a vote on the marina is concerned. I just want to make sure every commissioner is still on the teleconference So I'll be able to make sure we still maintain a quorum and this is a proper proceeding. Commissioner Hill, are you still on teleconference?
Yes, I'm here.
Commissioner Bowden,
I'm here.
Commissioner Everett,
Present.
okay, and Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin is here. Okay, so what we'll do without a lack of second to move forward on a vote, I think it must be the consideration that out of fairness, we would allow again another opportunity for the primary leaser to at least be present and be able to make any comments prior to our actual vote. I don't think it may change a whole lot between now and 2 weeks. I don't think there's an urgency that would warrant us to make any other consideration at this time. So the next question is, since we're not going to be moving forward, I imagine we don't need to really discuss
Question.
this lease. Yes, yes,
Question, Mr. Mayor.
yes.
In light of the fact that the Everglades Holding did not have a representative tonight, that they state, would 2 weeks be enough time? Because I didn't receive the email that Commissioner Boland was privy to, and I don't know if any of the other commissioners were privy to the email. So I think what we need to do is see if when we reconvene, I guess in 2 weeks, will that be sufficient enough time?
Yeah,
Because we got an 11th hour warning that they would not be here tonight for a retina surgery. So,
right. You know, I'm not a medical expert, but based on my just observation of that procedure, I don't think that would probably hinder. And we'll definitely check. That's a good point, Commissioner Everett. We'll check and make sure that 2 weeks is enough. But one eye surgery, you're still able to read, hopefully out of the other eye, or make comments if not able to read. So we just want to allow them to give any inputs or any comments prior to our initial votes. And again, there are two partners. We'll definitely make sure that both receive the email and let them know that it is our desire to move forward with this topic and this issue by no later than our next commission meeting. But we'll put that in consideration.
And also, Mr. Mayor, just to add, I know when we were meeting in the chambers, more besides Robert Lambert came that particular night. So in moving forward, I think if the city did not do it this time, we need to make sure that we send out notification to all parties involved with Everglades Holding rather, so that a representative can be sent on behalf of the company in event that another medical issue possibly arise.
Okay, well noted. So if it's the pleasure with the city commission, since we won't be voting on the release agreement tonight, that we move on to our remaining agenda items, unless there is some objection. Okay. We have no new business presented to us tonight. Our next agenda item would be the future agenda of the city commission, if there are any. This also must be approved by a majority vote to include it on our future agenda items. So at this time, Commissioner Hill, do you have any recommendation for future agenda items?
No, Mayor, no recommendation.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Boland?
Yes, sir. I would like to see Ms. Audrey Wolf from Palm Beach County Facilities come and speak to us about the non-congregate housing that they're proposing up on East Main Street. So I'd like to put that on the agenda.
Okay. Are there a second for having Ms. Wolf from Palm Beach County come and speak with us about the country housing proposal they're planning?
Mayor, Commission.
Yes.
We don't need a vote. I can just notate that because I want to hear from them as well. And I'll make sure that goes on the agenda.
Okay. We'll be able to have it hopefully by the next agenda.
Yes.
Have it added. Thank you.
They were sort of in a position to provide some information this evening, but I was so focused on this particular item of the Marina. I thought we needed some discussion on that, and it would take most of the meeting. So we were looking for another meeting subsequently anyway. But they wanted to provide some information because they know there's some misinformation out there. So I'll make sure that this is on the next agenda. So it would have to share with this other item, which is the Marina, or there may be a special meeting somewhere in between for one of these items. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But long story short, we could make sure it's on the agenda.
Okay. All right. Thank you. In additional items, Commissioner Bolden?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make sure that the website people that are working on the city website are coming to do a presentation. It was supposed to be on this agenda.
Okay.
Those folks can't come do a presentation. They're not in the state.
All right. Can they give us an update then?
Sure. I can make sure that happens.
Okay, so we'll add the website update on our agenda. Anything else, Commissioner Bolden?
Question. I know we're gonna load the agenda. Is this the upcoming agenda? I'm assuming
Yeah.
for our meeting.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it alone.
Okay, so far we got two items. We'll have Ms. Wolf from Palm Beach County speak on the congregate living and the website representative giving an update. Okay.
And can we get an update on the July 4th? Are we going to have fireworks or not?
No, we won't be having fireworks. That's canceled. And
Okay.
just about all of the cities, Commissioner Bolden have canceled their fireworks displays for this year.
Okay, I thought so, but I just wanted to get clarification. I had somebody ask me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. You're right.
And then I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hill, I think I may have mentioned you earlier.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Everett, any agenda items you would like to have considered?
Mr. Mayor, if city manager can include in his report what the plan. No, I was not in attendance last meeting. Very possibly it was discussed last meeting, but the plan regarding city clerks, the vacancy.
Okay.
Yes,
City
Mayor.
manager, you're going to be able to provide a report and update on where we are on that status of that vacancy.
Yes, sir. I will.
Thank you, sir.
I will. Just keep in mind, some of these items may get a special meeting before the next meeting. Understanding that we still have to discuss the item that was delayed tonight. So we may need to move some things around between now and the next meeting. And I'll let you know what those are, Mayor, moving forward. But just letting you know, just looking at how we're adding to the agenda and what faces us with the item that wasn't discussed tonight. I want to ensure that all these items get the proper timeline because, as you know, we have to cut this off at 9 p.m. So
that was the point that I was making. You know, we're saying they're just presentations, but we've had the tendency of taking presentations a little longer than they need to be drawn out.
Right.
Okay. All
right. So we need to be careful how we load the next agenda because we have a very important item that needs to be discussed.
Okay. All right. So far, we got 3. If we need to make any adjustment, we'll be able to do that. Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin, any suggested agenda items?
No, I don't, Mayor.
Thank you,
Sorry.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to, for the good of the order, community events, feel good announcements. And I'll start briefly by saying that this Wednesday coming up, unless there are some changes due to weather, we have an organization that will be doing COVID testing at the Martin Luther King Park from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is for residents who don't have any form of insurance. Again, we have 2 other entities. One is at Lakeside, and one here at the Florida Healthcare Center in Pahokee that provide testing, whether you have insurance, I believe, or not. But this particular organization is only accepting those who have no form of insurance. So if you know anyone out in the community that may be not insured, please help share this information. We'll have it posted on our Facebook web page and make sure that this information gets out. Now, they're going to try and attempt to be here in Pahokee every Wednesday from 9 to 5 until it's no longer needed. So it's going to be important that we get people out to be tested. If we don't, then that would send a signal that there's really no need for them, and they will probably move on to another community that has a need. It's still very important that everyone consider being tested to protect yourself, your family, and the community at large, so you don't assist in spreading of the virus. So thank you. So we'll move now to our vice mayor for any feel-good items, any community events or announcement.
There's none
Vice
at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move now to Commissioner Everett.
Yes, sir. I just want to say to our citizens to have a wonderful evening, and also considering the numbers spiking in our county, to please be safe and exercise social distance.
Yeah, and I will include with that too, Commissioner, we have currently 160 confirmed cases in Pahokee. And that's mainly because of the increased testing, which is important, but you still must remain vigilant to this virus. It's still there. It's not going anywhere soon.
And we
So
had a
we must
recent
continue.
spike, and so I did hear a citizen's comment regarding having public meetings again. And while other cities may be doing it, we have been impacted greatly in the Glaze community. We
Right.
definitely want to exercise wisdom with reopening of public meetings, because the numbers
Absolutely.
are spiking across the county.
Right.
That was statistically speaking, and the Glaze is definitely high considering the population. It was considered a
Right.
hot spot.
Okay.
Mayor
Great.
Bab, if
Yes,
I
ma'am.
could, I'm sorry. One little comment, I do want to give a shout out to all of our citizens that have made their comments tonight in regards to this marina that's been long waiting. And I think they have spoken tonight on what they would like to see in their community. And I hope and pray that by the next commission meeting, we do not forget the comments that were made, that we could take those into consideration into moving forward with what's on our agenda. So I will give a shout out to all of our listeners, whether it be by Facebook, whether it be by audio, teleconference, that your comments is not in vain. Just know that. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Bowden, any feel-good items and announcements?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you especially to all the commission and yourself, Mr. Mayor, for everybody who came out and helped with the food drive. That was a huge job, and we did it in the
Hey,
rain.
Mom Biggs.
But and we served a lot of people. So I want
Uh-huh.
to say thank you. I especially want to thank Mr. Lewis Pope from Pope Farms, Mr. Ben McGrill,
It's what
Supervisor
you had said though.
Rick Miller,
I got it on
and,
mute, but what you had said.
and especially the forklift driver, Mr. Juan Garcia, who came out and worked all day long and helped us get that food out. There will be a food drive or food distribution in South Bay this Friday, so it's open to anyone in the Glades. Please, please come out if you need food. And
Great.
thank you to everybody who participated.
Great. Thank you for that information, Commissioner. Commissioner Hill, you got the last word on feel-good items, community events, announcements.
Mayor, I don't have much to say. You guys have already reiterated everything that's going on in the community. Let's just continue to stay safe. And Regina, what time does that distribution of the food in South Bay, what time is that in the location?
They usually start the line around 11 or 11:30. They usually line up, or they start lining up around 9. And volunteers, please show up at 9 if you're coming.
Okay, gotcha.
And Commissioner Hill, there's right behind their City Hall, the old fire station there.
Uh-huh.
And volunteers normally come out about 9 to 9:30 to help with the packaging of the meal, although the meals actually be passed out at about 12 or so.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
Okay, having no further business before this commission, I as mayor adjourn this meeting. Thank you for being here and participating.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.